Boys, welcome back. And the reason I said boys is because we will be talking about season 1 of The Boys.
Woo!
This episode is not a podcast. We're doing something new. We have a new regime, a new segment, a new pattern, a new form of doing things. This episode is called a bite, okay?
Oh. Okay.
So basically, we're going to be talking about one topic for the whole episode, and this means that they will be shorter,
Yep.
they will be more
Yep.
concentrated, and they will be more centered around one subject.
Yes.
This means we can get more episodes out a week. This means we can get more different things to talk about
Yep.
and we center on one thing. But to get this out of the way now, just going to explain, it's a podcast,
Yep.
but it's a honed in area of the podcast.
Indeed.
So
Yeah.
where we would be talking out usually the whole shebang, we're talking about right on to season 1 of The Boys, and that is what we're talking about today. Season 5 is out.
So we thought we'd
A
discuss
few
season
weeks
1.
ago. So we thought we'd watch season 1.
Yep.
I've watched a bit of season 2, but we're homing in on season 1
Indeed.
because
I feel like.
Finlay, give me your
Well, no.
thoughts,
Before we say,
explanations.
obviously, spoiler warning, because we're going to talk about a show.
Yes.
Spoiler warning.
Yeah, but if you haven't seen it, I really don't know why you'd click on this
Yeah.
video unless you really just wanted to know from two guys who've only watched season 1 and a bit of season 2. Okay, Finley, give me your thoughts, opinions,
Ooh.
and well, should we do a recap of season 1?
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we're introduced to our characters. We have Huey. Huey is like this nerdy guy.
Yep.
His girlfriend gets killed, okay, in the street, which, talk about that for a second, was brutal. Literally exploded in blood and was holding our hands. It was a whole thing. Killed by A-Train because he was running through. And now A-Train, he's a superhero. So in this world, there's a company called Vought. Basically, Vought has all these superheroes that later on we found out are manufactured and aren't chosen by God. And they've been given a serum which makes them into superheroes.
Yep.
So a character comes along called Billy Butcher. He indoctrinates Huey into a group, which are the Boys, and they are trying to expose the superheroes and trying to out them for what they are. They kill one of the characters. They go on, and as you go on with the episodes, you learn more about the characters and the characters' motivations, and you feel bad for these characters because this world is so fucked. All these people, all these superheroes, like celebrities, have like these drug addictions and these different like things going on with them. They're like some of them are downright horrendous people. And you really get a sense of that in the first episode, but we'll talk about that in a sec. But Finley, give us your thoughts, opinions, reasons, and yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of it. Like, I think ultimately why I watched it is why it has a really good, strong plot. It has some good characters, and I think
Yeah.
overall it's definitely good enough that it let me continue watching. I think there was only 8 episodes, was there? So it's quite
Yeah, it's like episodes.
What?
Condensed.
Condensed. Thank you.
It was an hour long each episode,
But
though, so they're quite
I feel like
quite a
when
time.
people stop watching, it isn't like normally in the middle of episodes. It's normally going on to the next one, which I guess, 8 hours for a season, not too bad. So I thought
Yeah.
the story's good enough, the characters are good enough, yeah, not really where my problems lie. I like everything to do with the plot. I just found it really... There were parts of it where I just found it so unnecessary. Like, I didn't know where I was meant to be laughing, whether these were jokes, whether it was just shock value, and I didn't find a lot of what maybe they were trying to make seem funny or shocking. I just found it a bit weird and sad.
It's it's definitely like no other show I've ever watched ever. It's like a full on the thing about the boys is that it's not afraid to go the extra mile in terms of how disturbing it
Yeah.
is. It's probably one of the most disturbing things I've ever watched.
The thing
I get
the thing is that the label of it being called a superhero film, I'll do the same
mhm,
thing you did,
or show.
superhero show,
Yeah.
is it's so misleading and so just the
Did you think it was going to be a
oh
superhero
no
show
no
then?
no,
I knew it.
I knew it was gonna be like that because
Yeah.
you recommended it to me. But I just think from the differences of like Marvel and DC, it's so like obviously like you said, they're not really superheroes. Like
No.
the idea of a superhero is kind of like if you look at someone like I guess Batman, perfect example. He doesn't technically have any powers. He's a superhero because what he chooses to do. Where these people are the
Yes.
opposite.
Correct.
They've just been chosen, and they weren't really chosen by any divine intervention. They were just drugged up, which is why they have superpowers, and they
Mhm.
don't have any thoughts of a superhero. They're just employees
No.
pretty much. So
I think a good way to look at it is from like Starlight's point of view because obviously went
yeah,
into it. She's the character. She's like the character we follow through episode one, along with Huey. But she's the main. She's the good person in the actual superhero team.
yep,
She goes into it thinking, "Oh yes, finally, I can help people. This is what I'm meant to be. It's going to be so amazing. I can be a superhero, part of this group called the Seven, who are like the best superheroes ever. I've looked up my whole life to these superheroes." And then the first episode, and there's a scene where everything you thought you knew that was going to happen about these superheroes just all comes crumbling down. And I'm not going to say what happens, but it's very disturbing and gives you a good insight into what the show's trying to tell
yep,
you. Because I think, as a core value, the show is a really good concept,
yeah,
right? It's taking these superheroes who we see in the comics and stuff and making them quite realistic in terms of if they were like celebrities. Because everything in that vault in the company is all like
yeah,
manufactured and it's all like PR,
yes,
it's all everything like that. And it 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 really it takes out the superhero aspect and puts it in like real life, like, oh, it's just PR, it's HR, it's all these commercial things. And I find that like when I was watching the show, I was like, I like this because this is refreshing. This is a
yeah,
refreshing
agreed.
take, and it's a refreshing concept. I really enjoyed that concept, but yeah, but it's also quite disturbing
Yep,
in ways I never thought it would be.
yeah. I mean, a lot of episodes are rated, 18, which
Yeah,
you can very easily see why some of the scenes. But and
yeah,
I just feel like it was like obviously you're trying to show that these are like these superheroes are bad people.
mm,
They're obviously they're yeah, but I feel like they go
yeah,
so far with it, like so unnecessarily far, which is just like, which is kind of where my problems lie with it. Is that
yeah.
it does things for shock value for just the sake of shock value. Like it's an enjoyable plot. Like they don't need to do these random things. And obviously, I don't. I mean, I like. I don't know. There are just so many scenes in it where it's like
Yeah.
unnecessary.
I can get behind that take. I see what you mean. Like, there's a lot of unnecessary. Like, I've never watched a show, and like, I'm unsure which character's gonna actually explode in a second. Like, there's scenes like where you think everything's fine, and someone just actually bursts in like a bubble of like blood and gore.
Yep.
Like literally, the first episode, he's talking to his girlfriend and she
Within
explodes,
about
and it's the
10
most
minutes.
graphic thing. Yeah, it's super graphic, it's super gory. But yeah, if someone didn't like gore, they would freaking have a meltdown.
Oh,
Like
wait. Can I just say,
it's
we're not saying
yeah,
this
yeah.
is messed up just because there's gore. Like There's stuff we
No, no,
haven't said and we don't really want to say
no.
because
The gore is the tame part
yes,
of this show,
like
in my opinion.
I just realized the way you were sounding it, like we were saying that gore, it's like making it one of the most disturbing
No,
shows. It's
no,
like
no.
not that's
The,
not true at all.
if you watch The
Yes,
Boys, you know
episode
the scenes
one.
with Homelander. I think if we were going to go take, yeah, I see what you mean. The plot is a really good plot.
Yep.
I really enjoy the plot. Season one's plot is so good. It makes, I just kept watching episode after episode after episode because I was so invested. I was like, I'm really enjoying this. I want to see where it goes. If we're looking at character to character to character, oh, there are some really good characters in this show. I think my favorite at the moment is Billy Butcher. He's actually
Please, please
amazing
do not
in season one.
not repeat the language he uses, please.
No, no, no. Oh, he's so good. He's English as well. Love that. But he's such a good character, and you find out why his motivations
Yeah.
are for coming after Homelander. And like, it was really emotional that scene in the park. There's a certain scene where he tells Huey what happened. I'm like, yeah, I understand that fully. I understand that fully.
Can I
Yeah, it's warranted.
can I dive deeper
Yeah.
into like the characters and maybe one of
Yes, you
I
can.
did say I
I
like
think
the
we should go through all the
characters. I did say
characters.
I like the
Yeah, yeah,
characters. But one of the problems with this show is there is literally no build up to a lot of things that happen. Like literally
yeah,
none. Like I think when you watch a show that's like when you're trying to discover things, like unravel
yeah, yeah.
mysteries, there is no build up to anything that happens really. Like shit just
I'd argue that's the sake of shock, though.
yeah,
Do you know
okay,
what I
I
mean?
agree that some things are for the sake of shock, and like
Yeah,
some of the characters, like we've got people who are, I'd say, predators. I guess there's A
yeah. The
Train who's
deep.
on drugs, like
Yeah,
um, you know,
and he's just blown up a random
yes, but there's
lady
like
on the
there's
street.
just no like with A Train is there's like almost no humanization to like him having a drug problem. It's just like he just wants to do it and everybody doesn't want him to do it and he's
Mm.
just trying like there's not a lot
No,
of
I don't. I think no, no, I don't. I don't agree because they're like in the show. They're like always constantly like you have to be the fastest. You have to be the fastest. You have to be the fastest. And then he's taking these drugs to compensate for being the fastest man in the world. He's so you can see it with his trainer as well. He's so infatuated on being the fastest man in the world, and obviously all these PR people are telling him that you're the fastest man in the world. And if he loses that, like the race with the other really fast character, I forgot his name, that showed a lot about A-Train because it shows he's taking these drugs, even though his personal trainer told him not to. He's taking these drugs. He wants to go the extra mile because he's scared of losing that title and becoming irrelevant. I think that is the
but there's
humanization of his character, and that explains why he's taking them.
but there's no like I don't know. Maybe because the show is 8 hours, like 8 hours. Obviously, you can't focus on one part. I'd love to just have a extended edition where they just like develop these characters more, and it's just like obviously, as you said, yes, he fears
Yeah,
not being the fastest, but like there's almost no. I don't know how to describe it. There's no like
I get it because
there's no
they don't one
want. He's
focus on
just kind
age.
of glued
Yeah,
to one thing, and it's like everyone's telling him not to, and he's like, "Oh, I won't," and he does it, and it's like, well, that's like so surface level that he's just attached to one
I
thing.
guess maybe if there was like a whole episode
Yeah,
focused around
obviously,
A-Train's thoughts
then
and
they
feelings
obviously
and
have tried
stuff.
not to do that.
Yeah.
They've been condensed, but also the deep, like I every time they showed like obviously, so he did a bit of a naughty, I'd say, to Starlight,
Oh,
a bit of
very
a
Jesus
naughty.
Christ.
Um,
A bit of a
which was
Nazi,
one of
yeah.
my things when I watched. I was not a big fan of episode one because I thought of it sets the scene, but it sets a. I don't like it. Like the okay, let's see.
I think episode one's great.
The
I
Deep
think
did
episode one's great.
some naughty to Starlight,
Oh, it
and
was
Starlight was
horrendous.
just set up to be this like wide-eyed girl who was living with her mother, and then just got
Yeah.
shot into this world, and it was just like I was like, oh my god, and then like
Yeah.
and then the Deep, whenever he just had like he got kicked out of Vought, and then I don't know. Every time I saw him
Was-
on a scene, like I just didn't enjoy it. Like his character wasn't. I don't know.
I think does he get kicked out in season
Yeah.
one? Because like there's like a whole things. I won't talk about season two, but like he's they focus on the deep a lot. I think sometimes he's a bit of the comedy like aspect though, because like the
Is
freaking
he?
um
When was he
a
funny?
dolphin. Well, I mean, he kind of when he took the dolphin out of the SeaWorld, that was like I didn't find it that
I
funny, but
didn't.
I thought it was a
I didn't
little bit
at all.
funny.
Like,
And
but even you saying
but he's
that,
like
that
he's the butt of the joke in Vought
he
though. Like no one
is,
really takes him
yes, because he's the
seriously.
freaking, Aquaman guy, and it's all like the
Yeah.
haha, like his powers are talking to fish. But then every time he did, like, obviously, as you said, he's trying to be the comedy character. I didn't find anything he said funny. Like, it was just,
No.
I don't know.
I think him as like a concept of a character though is just a bit of a joke. So I
Yes,
think that's what they're trying to
but
find.
don't know, man. I just didn't really.
It's yeah. Also another aspect I like, not really the thing we're talking about though, but it's like all these superheroes are copies of actual like superheroes from other things.
Yeah,
Like I don't know if like I think they have comics, but I don't know. They probably took take it from like obviously Homeland's
yeah.
Superman, Maeve is Wonder Woman, the Deep is Aquaman, A Train's the Flash, Starlight is I don't know who Starlight is. She's new. I think
Black
that
Noir is Batman.
Black Noir no, because he kills people and he has knives though. He's like I don't know. He's like Daredevil slash like I don't know what he is. He's just kind of a silent guy, which I mean he's kind of like the cool character of the group, but it's all it's all taking these superheroes and putting them into different contexts, which is cool. I I really like the character. Obviously, he's a terrible, terrible human, a terrible, terrible superhero, and terrible like an abysmal character in terms of how bad he
Morally.
is. But yeah, morally, but he is an amazingly written character. Homelander probably like the star of the show,
Oh yeah.
like Anthony Starr's performance of him. Wow, he's an amazing character. Like the episode one, the whole episode, you don't really get to see Homelander. He's kind of he's honestly got this acting persona where he's just like I'm Superman. I don't drink anything. I'm clean. I'm the God's chosen boy. But then at like the last bit of the episode, you see him like laser down this plane with this
Yeah.
father and his kid on board, and that really sets the tone for the whole rest of the
And
show because I don't know why I just love well I know why I love every single scene of Homelander because it's just done so well and you really get a sense of his character because he's such a freaking man child. It's unbelievable.
yeah.
Like he's literally a man child, and it's absolutely amazingly crafted as a character. I think he's an insanely cool concept for a character, and it's done really well. And watching it further, it's just I still that every time he's on screen, I'm just like, yes, it's nothing bores me about it. It's just so interesting and so yeah, I can see why if people want to watch the show just for him because he's
Yeah.
insane. But yeah, what do you think about Homelander?
Um. Well, obviously, Homelander's like the center of the superheroes. He's like the authoritative figure, and at the
Mm.
start, you're thinking,
He's way more powerful than
yeah, you're
everyone as
starting to
well. Yeah,
think, well, why is he's the center? I think because everyone respects him, but then you learn because he's a bit
you're
mad.
really powerful.
Like he's not authoritative because everyone respects him. He's authoritative because everyone fears him, and that's like
Yeah.
it's obviously a link to the ending of the show, which I'll go into in a minute. But the
Mhm.
whole VOT situation is that it's obviously superheroes are a commodity. They're Ollie said with the first scene of Holander, he lasers a plane down because I think was it what's it
They
called?
were trying to
A
expose
mayor,
Compound
a
V.
mayor of a different state wanted superheroes because their crime rate had gone up, and they offered the wrong price, and then they had a corporate
I think they
secret.
tried to blackmail
Yes,
them.
and
They
then
tried to
that
blackmail them as
mayor
well.
had the secrets of a compound which gave the superheroes
Hmm.
their powers, and then obviously he was
Yeah.
killed. So you're thinking, this isn't they aren't superheroes trying to protect people. This is just a corporate interest.
No. And also, when they go to save people, there's always like
Yeah.
camera crew and
Yep.
stuff there. There's always like it's always
Oh
planned.
yeah.
They never go off and save people. Like Starlight in season one, her first mission with the Deep, and she's like, "Oh, everyone's coming out with me cameras. Like it doesn't matter. Like this was kind of just fabricated." But then when she actually saves someone in the streets, it's a whole like thing, and she's getting really like um she's getting really pressed for it because she's not supposed to do that
Yeah.
if it's not planned. Although it ends up okay anyway, but it just shows
Well,
like that
yeah.
corporation's so,
I mean, to
you
dive
know,
a bit deeper into the scene, she stopped. Yeah, she stopped a crime. And it was
yeah.
filmed by someone in not like a member of staff. It was filmed by a random
No,
person
just
that
yeah,
just
random
sees her
person.
beat up two men without
Yeah,
like the realization of what the crime committed was. And
yeah,
her, I guess her manager was really angry with her. She because obviously no one saw the motive, and she was talking
hmm
about the company's image, and there's no kind of belief in Starlight that she was doing the right thing because as it's like found out that the rest of them are so horrible that they need so much
yeah,
PR to cover up everything they do and everything they say. So, but then it's found out the victim replied in to the video, confirming it,
yeah,
and then they're overwhelmingly happy with her and they want to make her center stage, and it's like it's all
yeah,
just done for public approval. None of it's just good intentions or even profit. It's all just to be liked, which is kind of the link to Homelander, where you see a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of
I was
his
gonna say,
personality is just for
I was gonna
public
say,
approval.
yeah. He is such a child that his whole thing is he has to be liked, he has to be improved, otherwise he has like a freaking breakdown.
Yep.
It's a whole like that's how they're keeping Homelander like in their control because ultimately he's still in control by people, but he's being controlled because he has this like unbelievable want for a need and like attention and just to be the center of everything. Otherwise, he could just kill everyone.
Oh yeah.
Like he just held in these like chains of himself wanting to like everyone, and like it's quite i- it's it's just an incredible aspect to his character because I've never seen anything like that before. I've never seen this concept of a superhero in that way. But
Okay. I feel like we should move on to kind of the story behind it, which is obviously Billy
yeah,
Butcher. He's been wronged by Vought, and is ultimately their ultimate goal is to bring down the company, or his ultimate goal is to
yeah,
bring down Homelander because yeah, so he assembles this team of Huey, Frenchie, Mother's Milk, which is a very interesting name. Yeah, all these like
oh,
which are the boys. They're the
and and the girl as well
and
in the
yeah,
later episodes.
Comico. Or, yeah,
Kimiko, yeah,
um, and they capture. So the whole thing starts is when Huey's asked to bug the vault office after
yeah,
A Train runs for his girlfriend. Obviously,
yeah.
he's angry and he no shit.
He's also
Um,
convinced by Butcher because the whole like of the episode one, there's so much like juxtaposition between Huey because he goes like in this breathing thing and he's really scared, and then he's ultimately convinced by Billy Butcher to fight these people and
yeah,
to take initiative. And when he does that, and goes and bugs the office. This character called Translucent, who is invisible, finds him, goes back to his store. They manage to take him down,
yep,
but don't kill him. And then they put him in this box to contain him. It's got electrical current going through it, so if he hits it, he gets electrocuted because I don't know his skin's like conductive or something. And then they want to find a way to kill him. I know they want to take
I
down
think it's
like
just
Vought and
barbed
stuff, but
wire.
I get
I
is
think
it?
it's
I
just
thought it was conductive.
electrocuted.
And then they want to find a way to kill him because obviously they've seen his faces, and also he's a member of the
Yep.
Seven. They want them to die. Uh, They kill him by putting something up his bottom,
It may be
and then
explosive, and it wasn't
explosive
some
as well.
Indian food.
But the thing is, they chop him up, put him in. Well, he's exploded. Put him in the boxes, uh, 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 a lead box or something that Homelander can't, a zinc box that Homelander can't see through. But when eventually he does find the box, it says "coming for you." So their intentions were to obviously tell and um, be like, okay, we know what you truly are. We know what kind of people you are, and we're gonna take you down. You take the lead on the next
Um,
part.
so Huey's ultimately the one who blows up Translucent, and it's there's like a shift for his character because then one of the next scenes is when they go to a stadium to try and get
Yeah,
Compound V, to have it to give it to the government. And
yeah,
then we have this scene where Huey's telling, one of his team members about how he actually enjoyed killing Translucent, and then you sense Huey
hmm
going down this dark path of almost turning into like Billy Butcher, like where
because he liked killing him as
yes,
well.
like
Yeah, that's
but
true.
then
He
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 meets
enjoyed it.
he re-meets Starlight because they technically they met before, but
Yeah,
they didn't know who each other were, and he's kind of taken down this different direction of believing, not all
yeah,
the supers are bad.
yeah. And this gives like a juxtaposition between him and Billy, and they're
Yeah.
like Billy's like, oh, soups are all
Yeah,
bad, aren't
he's
they? The
he's
fuckers.
very
And
set in his
then
ways after being
yeah,
wronged.
definitely what happened. And then Huey sees Starlight and is like, these people can't be. She's not too bad. She's not what everyone thinks she is. But obviously, she's like the only exception in the
Yeah.
Seven because the rest of them, maybe apart from Maeve, are kind of just terrible people.
Well,
Um, yeah, you go on.
yeah. So, that sets him down a different character arc from Billy Butcher,
Yeah,
which ultimately, um, when they
it
get
conflicts
captured,
with them though.
Huey decides to go back and get the rest of the group, whereas Billy Butcher
Yeah, yeah,
goes to the final stand, which I guess is
yeah.
you know
It's yeah, it's interesting to show that as well because Billy is not shown as just a complete good guy because he's not a complete good guy.
I would say he's almost the opposite.
He's a bit of an anti-hero. I don't think he's a bad guy, but
Well,
he's a bit of an
I
anti-hero.
wouldn't
He's
say
got
he's freaking a saint, is he?
I'm gonna say he's evil, but like there's it's really complex to his character, and that's what I enjoy about his character as well. Is that he, yeah, he's not just gonna let Huey
Yeah. But
like
I
go off
mean,
with
to
one
be
of the
fair,
seven.
ultimately he does try and report Vought to the police. He gets a sample compound V. He tries to,
Yeah.
and then you see the scene where you can tell he's really Homelander's kind of the only one he wants. Like he doesn't care about Vought really, and it's just kind of
Yeah, yeah.
Homelander where he goes to his friend in the CIA and tries to present the case against him, but they can't give
hmm
him Homelander. So there's a lot of back and forth in that deal. So ultimately,
Yeah.
he decides to just do it himself. He knows the one thing that will hurt Homelander, which not actually hurt him, but like hurt him emotionally, which is
hmm
his boss, which is Madeline. Where he
Madeline's a very interesting
yes
character.
she is. She's
It's a very,
yeah.
I think the only word is a revolting
Yes,
relationship between her,
yes, it's
uh,
very, very strange.
between
But
Homelander and her.
he knows that's the only
Yeah.
thing he cares about and the only thing that keeps him in line. And why why
Mhm.
Ollie just said why Homelander hasn't snapped and killed everyone because he craves the approval of
Yes.
Madeline. So he goes into her house, arms her, puts like an explosive vest on her. Homelander comes down, and they have this really obviously I remember you saying you didn't really understand why that final scene happened, and I think
Yeah, my thing was I I just Billy seemed like completely different in the episode for me because I didn't realize why he really wanted to to just kill himself along with Homelander at the end, because they do end up blowing each other up, because Homelander does a full 180 and realizes how Madeline has been scared of him and basically just semi-controlling him in a way to not kill her
Yeah.
or just go out of control. And then he looks her in the eyes and just lasers her skull
Yes.
in,
Which
which really shocked me
which
because of that.
and then
But
it leaves
yeah,
Billy in this situation where Homelander has just killed,
mhm.
Billy's only
His only chance
leverage,
of
and then he's
yeah
thinking, well, and then he ends up trying to blow himself up. And I remember you saying, well, why has he done that then? And I
yeah
think it's because it was his last straw. I'd say he understands that the CIA couldn't give him Homelander, so he's gone to her house to go, well, it's like he's lost everything. That's his final straw, that he has to take it upon himself.
mhm,
And then, obviously, I don't think he's, at the end of the day, he's not really like that. He doesn't kill for the because he likes killing. He's got a purpose, and then I
mhm.
think that's when they couldn't give him Homelander, he just snaps and goes, "Well, I'm just."
Yeah,
He knows it's not going to kill him. It knows he's probably not going to even hurt him the explosives, but he knows he wants to hurt Homelander mentally, like to get rid of the only thing he cares about. And I think it's just when he loses his leverage, he's like, "Well, I've lost everything. I might as well just freaking
mhm.
blow myself up because he's lost everything." And I think,
But then
yeah.
when the episode ends, that's all true.
Oh,
And the episode ends, and the last bit is shown. It's shown that Billy's wife is still alive with Homelander's kid. Well, we won't go into season two, but I just want to say that I'm nowhere near as impressed by season two as season one. I think season one is much better structurally than season two. But that's
that's our
the
that's our
whole
thoughts, really.
that's our little summary of season
Yes.
one. And to take away from season one, what's your final closing thoughts of the whole thing? Who's your favorite character? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? Just in quick fire fashion.
Right. Obviously, there's a lot we missed out because obviously, again, as we said at the start, we're not trying to make hour-long podcasts. We're trying to shorten it down.
Mhm,
But I think my favorite character is probably Huey. I'd say, which is a bit controversial
mhm.
because he's like the nerd of everything. But it's just
He's a good
he
character
is.
though. He's a good complex character.
He is. Yeah, obviously you think he's going down one direction, he goes down another where he, believes that they're not all evil, it's just personalities. Um, though
And it's sort of the company corrupting them as
yeah,
well. I'm not saying that's the only
and I
thing,
think
but yeah, they're even enabling them
I
or
think he's
corrupting
just
them.
you can tell he's just a normal guy, and then he's just been wronged so much that he's willing to go down this dark path. There was this thing at the start which I think they abandoned way too quickly, or they should have just not had it really. Where he's like overthinking things, where he has
Yes.
he has this one violent, thought in his head, and you just never see it again. Where he's holding himself back, even after the whole A Train running into his girlfriend fiasco. Um, and they just kind of drop that, which I would have liked to see a lot more of his hesitation until maybe that he kills Translucent, but that's fine. He's still
Hmm.
my favorite character. I think there's a lot of complexion to him, and
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
I think it's the plot. Okay, the plot is very good, which is why I watched it.
Mhm.
Ultimately, I did enjoy episode one. I thought it was a bit dark. It was a bit unnecessarily, does stuff for shock value, but it's a good plot. That's why I watched it. But
Yeah.
it's not my favorite. I'm not, as I said, I'm to Ollie. I'm not gonna continue watching it because I don't really want to.
Fair enough. For me, I definitely am going to continue watching it. I'll watch all the seasons. I'll watch season five. Um, but I like pretty much everything about season one. I was really impressed by it. It's good television. Um, season two, not really talking about that, but it's not really as good at all. Um, I love all the characters. I love the concepts. I love how they do. how they're doing the story. I love it's such a refreshing thing to watch. It's such a new um concept, which is well, it's not new. It came out in like 2016 or something like that. But I mean, it's new to everyone really. Still, it's just a new concept. It's new something.
Yep.
uh, We're leaning a lot more into like what evil superhero is supposed to be like. That's cool. It's really good for the boys. Obviously, I don't think everyone should be making evil superhero stuff because that's defeating plot of superheroes. But
Yeah.
it's a really cool concept. The characters are really addicting. I think the boys are some of like the most um I don't know, they're some of the most interesting characters. I think Homelander's incredibly interesting. I think Billy Butcher's incredibly interesting. Huey's really interesting. Um Starlight's really interesting. They do characters well in
Yep.
that show. I think that's really what I thought. It was a really character heavy show and it works quite well. And I will be watching it. And if you had to give it a rating out of 10, what would you give the first season?
Uh, a 7. I think
Okay.
it obviously there's a lot of stuff I don't like. I think
Mhm.
the plot and the characters, as I've said, are good. Other than okay, I'd say the main characters are good. I feel like it's been a
Mhm.
bit confusing. I've said they're not good and then they are good, but I think the main character's good. I think some of the
Yeah.
lesser seen characters could use some development, but it's fine. Uh, as you said, this is a very new avenue to go down. I wouldn't really like it if loads of people start doing stuff like this. I just don't think it's going to be.
Yeah. I think that would kind
Yeah,
of ruin the whole point
yeah.
of superheroes and would not be and work very well.
But wait,
I
wait. But
okay, here you
talking
go.
about going down new avenues, I hope you like this new format where we're trying to be a
Hmm.
lot more condensed, which is why we skipped a lot of the plot. And you know,
Yeah.
final thoughts.
We're trying to give people a yeah. My final rating is a 9 out of 10, and I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 not because I like I just think it's very good television. I think no, I think it's very good television. I think
Jesus.
I don't think anything else they could what they wanted to achieve is quite achieved very well. I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 because still the concept for me some like just not what I'm personally really into, but I can really get behind the concept. I just think everything they wanted to achieve and everything they wanted to show, apart from the last episode, is done really well. I think it's just a good piece of media to watch, and I think they've done that really well. I was waiting to give it 8.5, but I'll chuck it at a 9. Just give them their flowers. It's a good show. There we go.
Yeah.
That's our first funny side up bite. If you have any things you want us to talk about, if you want any things you want us to watch, if you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up, like and
Good
subscribe,
YouTube
turn
rating.
notifications on, and don't forget about
What?
what the fuck am I talking about? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Leave that
Don't forget
in.
to come back,
don't
please.
Don't forget to come back. That's going to be our final thing forever now. And we will see you in the next one.